Posted by you/obligation Sirius 764. I know this may sound like a huge overreaction on my part, but my head has been ringing ever since this happened. I, 29M, have been engaged to my fiancée, 28F, for a few months now. We had dated for just shy of 2 years prior to that. It would be cliché to say everything was going great, but for the most part, it was good. My family really took a liking to her, which was also great. Now, I've never been one to think too much about how I'm viewed as a partner, but all of that changed recently. I basically overheard her on the phone, telling her friend that if she wants to find the one, excitement isn't important. She basically said, "Op isn't exciting, but he makes me feel safe," and that's when I realized I wanted to settle down with him. This hit me kinda hard. Reddit, I've read these types of posts before, you know, the whole she goes for bad boys then settles with a safe schmuck type of thing. But I don't think that's what she meant, so the day after, I just straight up told her that I overheard her talking about me and that I don't understand what she meant by not finding me exciting. She then told me that it's true she doesn't find me exciting, but that it doesn't matter. I honestly felt very hurt. Maybe my ego is fragile? I don't know, but it was a surprise to me because it felt like the way I see myself in my head was colliding with how she sees me, and it made me feel spaced out. I asked her what she meant by not finding me exciting, and she didn't seem to know how to even answer. She could see I was upset, and as pathetic as this sounds, I made an excuse to leave and said we'd talk about it later. Ever since then, my head has been spinning. I ride motorcycles, have tattoos, go to the gym, and I even do MMA as a hobby. So how is it that I'm not the exciting guy? I've always seen myself as being that exciting guy. My ex was basically obsessed with me and constantly made it clear she found me exciting. But my now fiancé doesn't see me as exciting for whatever reason. I was honestly shocked because I felt my sense of self kinda crumble. And what made it worse is that I'm excited by her. When I see her, I want to rip her clothes off, I want to do things, I think about her. But she seemingly doesn't see me the same way at all. As crazy as this sounds, I have considered calling off the engagement entirely. Am I being crazy here? Commenter. I think I get where she's coming from, and I understand your take too. It might just come down to definitions here. Real talk, your sense of being an exciting man is riding a motorcycle, having tattoos, and going to the gym to do MMA? And your idea of excitement is ripping her clothes off? Dude, are you gonna buy a convertible when you hit 50, or maybe an all-black Jeep with no hardtop? Everything you've posted is honestly pretty routine and safe. You wear your insecurities like a light-up name badge in how you describe yourself, and you don't even seem to see it. I do manly things, so I am manly and exciting. It's kind of funny from an outside perspective, but I get that it's probably not funny for you to hear. Exciting guys are the ones who are unpredictable, off the wall, and while fun to be around, aren't really anyone to aspire to be or be with. They're the guys who keep bouncing from job to job because they're always chasing adventures, who flirt with illegal activities for the thrill, and who can turn a simple happy hour into a rave. Sure, they're exciting, but that doesn't sound like you, and that's not a bad thing. Being predictable and safe is a good thing. I'd encourage you to stop overthinking this. Op's response. But the thing is, I never saw myself as that safe, stable guy. All my exes described me as exciting and clearly saw me that way. It's the self-image I always had of myself. Now I'm suddenly not that guy? I'm going to have to talk to her more about this, but it really feels like the way I view myself has been shattered. It's very hard to describe the feeling. Update 3 days later. The last few days have been a roller coaster of emotions. There were a lot of interesting perspectives from both male and female posters. It seems that the female posters said being seen as safe is a really great compliment, whereas the male posters said I should run for the hills. It's certainly an intriguing insight into how men and women see things differently. So I ended up talking to my fiancée about what she meant. She seemed really nervous and knew she had upset me. I have to admit, I was quite nervous too. It's not easy when your sense of self has crumbled. Learning that you aren't seen in the way you think you are is a very tough feeling. I can't describe it, but it really made me feel fragile in the truest sense of the word. I started by telling her that I was really upset about her comment because, frankly, I'd always thought I was that exciting guy to her. I told her that, in my mind, I was the guy who makes her heart skip a beat. So I had to brace myself and ask again what she meant when she said I wasn't exciting. She looked like she wanted to cry because, I guess, she could sense that I was also upset. She said that she didn't want to hurt my feelings but that I make her feel very safe and secure, and that with me, I'm not exciting in the sense that I don't give her thrills like her exes used to. Man, that hurt, but I was still confused. She was being really vague and not clear about what she meant. I had to ask again what she meant by thrills, and she just began crying and apologizing. She tried to hug me, but I walked out again. I seem to do this when things get emotional. So I decided to take some mushrooms and spend the day outside at a nearby lake. This helped me clear my mind and come to some devastating realizations about myself. I think what I realized was that I was lying to myself. Another commenter said it, which I didn't want to admit, that I'm more into her than she is into me. I didn't disclose this in my first thread, but she never initiates bedroom intimacy. I don't think she's done that once. With my exes, they always initiated with me. You see, my fiancée is beautiful, to the point where I wonder how I landed her. But that was the issue. because I was so attracted to her, I wanted her approval. I know that sounds pathetic, but I was able to overlook red flags, like her lack of initiating intimacy. I thought if I stayed with her, she'd like me the way I like her. Now here's the kicker. I thought that if I proposed to her, then over time I could win her over. I've been with women who were madly into me, and my fiancée just didn't behave like them at all. In addition to never initiating, she never complimented me much. It was always one-sided. A lot of this begs the question, why would she even be with me? I think she saw me as someone who could provide stability. And I guess maybe she thought my exterior, tattoos, motorcycles, MMA, craft beer, was a facade. I mean, maybe she was kinda right. Not that I don't enjoy those things, I do. But I am able to have that lifestyle because my parents are wealthy doctors. Maybe she thought I was cosplaying as a bad boy, and that, in actuality, I'm a loaded rich kid who provides stability. The other insight I had was that, truth be told, I didn't actually want to get married yet. I definitely do one day, but I didn't really think it through. I thought to myself that if I proposed, I would grow accustomed to the idea of getting married. But the truth is, I kind of want to continue my lifestyle as it is, which involves riding my motorcycle, fixing muscle cars, traveling across the country, going to festivals, etc. Do I want to get married one day? Of course. But I want to be with a woman who is really crazy about me, someone who compliments me a lot, initiates intimacy, and so on. So I ended up talking with her later on and told her that I wanted to call things off and end it. I won't bore you with details, but yes, she cried a lot, even got angry, and said I wasted her time. I told her it wasn't anything she did, but she didn't buy that and kept pressing. She said I misunderstood her comment, but I told her she couldn't even clarify what she meant. It ended with me telling her that I have nothing against her, but that I'm just not ready for marriage. I explained that the lifestyle I want to continue, along with not feeling the connection I thought I had with her, was why. It ended quite predictably, but I think going forward I'm going to see a therapist to sort out my insecurities, as well as find someone more compatible with me. Commenter. She still didn't answer what the exes did that was so thrilling. I said it in your first post, and I'll say it again, some people think of toxicity as a thrill, and I have a feeling that's what it is. At least you attempted to get an answer, and I'm sorry it wasn't the one you deserved to hear. Feeling loved and safe is an important feeling, and it's what set my partner apart from me. Definitely didn't make him boring. Please don't change yourself on account of her crappy mindset. I laughed when she said you wasted her time. The lady doth project too much.